Early 20th century. Origins of Sir Reginald Hargreeves. Sir Reginald Hargreeves, born in the early 20th century, is a wealthy and brilliant industrialist with an obsessive interest in extraordinary phenomena and human potential. His early life is marked by an intense pursuit of knowledge and power, laying the groundwork for his future endeavors. His fascination with superhuman abilities drives him to investigate and harness these powers. On October 1, 1989, 43 babies are born simultaneously around the world to women who had shown no signs of pregnancy. This mysterious event is the result of interference by a time-traveling entity known as the Handler, who manipulates events to create a pool of potential candidates with extraordinary abilities for her own agenda. Hargreeves adopts 7 of these children, including Luther, super strength; Diego, precision knife throwing; Allison, suggestive influence; Klaus, communication with the dead; 5, time travel; Ben, summoning monsters; and Vanya, initially believed to be powerless. He forms the Umbrella Academy to train them as a superhero team, but his methods are harsh and emotionally detached. 1989-1993. Formation and training. Hargreeves raises the children with rigorous training, focusing on their abilities rather than their emotional well-being. This approach fosters deep-seated personal issues and strained sibling relationships. Ben, who has the dangerous power to summon monsters, becomes increasingly isolated. The Academy's environment, coupled with Hargreeves' distant nature, contributes to the siblings' dysfunction and discontent. 2007. Disbandment and Ben's death. By 2007, the Umbrella Academy disbands. The siblings, now adults, separate and live their own lives. The Academy's mansion falls into disrepair, reflecting their fractured relationships. During this period, Ben dies during a mission, leaving the remaining siblings devastated. His death remains shrouded in mystery, and Hargreeves' lack of support exacerbates their emotional wounds. 2019. The apocalypse and time travel. In 2019, Hargreeves dies, prompting the siblings to reunite for his funeral. Their reunion is interrupted when 5, who has been lost in time and now appears as a teenage adult, returns with alarming news. An apocalypse is imminent in 8 days. The siblings discover that Vanya, previously thought to be powerless, possesses immense destructive abilities. Hargreeves had suppressed her powers, fearing their potential. Vanya's abilities are unleashed, causing a catastrophic explosion and the impending end of the world. 5 uses his time-traveling abilities to create an alternate timeline to prevent the apocalypse. 1960-1963. Dallas displacement and the Commission. In the newly created timeline, the siblings are displaced to Dallas, Texas, across different years between 1960 and 1963. Each sibling adapts to their new surroundings in their unique ways. Luther becomes a bodyguard for a gangster. Diego is confined to a mental institution. Allison becomes involved in the civil rights movement. Klaus starts a cult, and 5 attempts to prevent President Kennedy's assassination, which is part of a larger conspiracy. They soon learn that their actions have triggered a new apocalypse, linked to the Commission, a secretive organization responsible for regulating time travel and maintaining timeline stability. The Commission's agents, known as the Swedes, are dispatched to eliminate the siblings to protect the timeline. The siblings must navigate these challenges and confront their past mistakes. 2020. The emergence of the Sparrow Academy. Returning to the present, the siblings find that their actions have altered reality. The Umbrella Academy has been replaced by the Sparrow Academy, an alternate superhero team led by a different version of Sir Reginald Hargreeves. The Sparrows, who have their own unique abilities and agendas, present new challenges for the Umbrella siblings. The emergence of the Sparrow Academy forces the Umbrella siblings to confront their past and their complex relationship with Hargreeves. They discover that the new reality has been profoundly influenced by Hargreeves' actions. The conflict between the two academies uncovers deeper layers of Hargreeves' manipulations and the impact of his experiments. Both teams must collaborate to prevent a new impending apocalypse tied to their altered reality. 2021. The final confrontation and resolution. In the 4th and final season, the Umbrella Academy faces its ultimate challenge. The threat comes from an entity known as the Sparrow Academy's world-ending force, which seeks to merge multiple timelines into a chaotic singularity. This threat is tied to the time-traveling entity that caused the birth of the 43 babies and manipulated events to create chaos. The mystery of the 43 babies explained in Season 4, it is revealed that the 43 babies born on October 1, 1989, were part of an experiment orchestrated by a time-traveling entity from the future known as the Handler, who was working to manipulate key events in history. The birth of these babies was a consequence of her interference in the natural order, intended to create a pool of potential candidates with extraordinary abilities to fulfill her own agenda. Hargreeves, who was unknowingly manipulated by these future events, adopted 7 of these children to create his superhero team. Sir Reginald Hargreeves' wife. It is revealed that Hargreeves' wife was a time-traveling being named the Mother. She was part of an experiment to manipulate the timeline and orchestrate the birth of the 43 babies. Her role was central to Hargreeves' motivations, and her presence is crucial to understanding the full scope of his actions. Desire to die. Throughout Season 4, the characters grapple with a profound sense of futility and existential dread. Many, including the siblings and the Sparrows, express a desire to escape their circumstances, believing their actions and existence are futile. This is partly driven by the overwhelming nature of their challenges and the realization that their attempts to correct the timeline might be in vain. Final resolution. To resolve the crisis, the Umbrella Academy must collaborate with the Sparrows to stop the merging of timelines and prevent the chaotic singularity. They make significant sacrifices, confront their own flaws and unresolved issues, and ultimately find a way to stabilize reality. This resolution involves closing the time loop and addressing the root cause of the temporal disturbances orchestrated by the Handler and the time-traveling entity. The siblings come to terms with their past, the true nature of Hargreeves' manipulations, and their own personal growth. They achieve closure and ensure the survival of their world, restoring balance and bringing their saga to a satisfying conclusion.